And we're back on Build Phase TV, and on today's episode, I am not going to talk about the Dice Throne Kickstarter, which, as you can see here, is still trucking along, doing quite well with 12 days to go. What I want to talk about instead is Dice Throne on Rulepop. So what this is, and the first time you go to rulepop.com/dicethrone, you're going to get this pop-up window here that kind of explains what it's about. For people that have followed the build phase for a while and are familiar with the world of verses, you're going to recognize the term progressive web app here. This is exactly like Pocket Verses. So this is a web page, a web-based app that you can put onto your phone and have really quick offline access to all of the Dice Throne rules. It's also available on the website, and I just wanted to bring some attention to this because it is great. So I don't know what percentage of people out there are the rules person at their game nights, but at my game nights, I'm the rules guy. So I'm the guy who always has to pull out the rule book, even if we're playing two separate 1v1 games. If there's a rules questions over here, I got to stop my game. I got to pull out the rule book. I got to find the correct answer. And most of the time, that's fine, but every once in a while, there's a rule that isn't in a place where you expect it, or you're not thinking about it the right way. And there's times in games like Arkham Horror, and even sometimes Dice Throne, where the game just grinds to a halt because you can't find the right answer to the rule. So I'm willing to go all in on harsh criticism of any game that doesn't have a good rule book. And this resource right here is fantastic. So what this Rulepop, which is not a website I am previously familiar with, but what this is the entire Dice Throne rulebook, and it's broken up by exactly what you would be looking for. Do you have an issue with loot cards? Okay, well, click on here. Here's all the rules that govern loot cards for Dice Throne Adventures. Do you have an issue with what the different types of tokens are? You can't remember something? I like that this is... Maybe this particular list is maybe not functional for to answer a specific question within a game, but this is a cool resource for a player who's like, oh, what's that chaos? What's that token called with all the arrows? Oh, the chaos token, or whatever it is. This lets you one-stop shop, look at all the tokens. I think that's great. Same thing with the heroes. Obviously, you don't want to lose your hero pamphlet. That is both a cool and functional piece of the overall Dice Throne play experience. But if you do, or if for whatever reason you don't have immediate access to that, here is all the words you need to look at how any particular hero's FAQ, and most of the questions, now not every question I've ever had for a hero, but most of the questions that I've had for heroes, I can find the answers to in the FAQ. Like, I always recommend people start with that, then go to some of the other admittedly quite excellent resources that we have in this community, like the Facebook and the Discord. I cannot say enough positive stuff about both the table of contents here, the organization of the rules app, and how snappy progressive web apps work on your phone. It makes it so easy to look something up really quick. There's even a pleasing aesthetic to these pop-up windows. This isn't just chunks of information. I mean, it is chunks of information, but it's presented in a way that's pleasing to the eye. It breaks stuff down. And, well, what's your question? Oh, what about targeting? It's all broken down here really clearly. There's no rule book that you have to thumb through looking for the right page. And then, oh, I had a question about combat, but that's not addressed here. It's addressed in the extra combat rules at the end, or whatever the example is. If you've been playing board games for a while, you have run into the I know what the question is, but I'm asking it the wrong way problem. Like, the rule book is set up in such a way you're looking at combat, but really the question is combat resolution, and that's a whole nother section, or whatever it is. This is excellent. Ooh, I wonder what the card caddy. Oh, I like this breakdown too. So setting up this card caddy in Dice Throne Adventures, I will say, was a lot of fun. And I know people complained about setting up Descent or whatever other game, but I liked opening up the packs and figuring out the right way to have all the cards in the card caddy, and the video support that they had for this as well was really cool. But today I wasn't going to try to talk about Dice Throne Adventures. I just wanted to highlight how cool and effective and throw some positive feedback at this new Dice Throne app, web app, progressive web app. So I will link this in the show notes for this video. And as always, thanks for watching. Till next time, go win some games.